Good evening.
Hello, mate. How you doing? You all right?
I'm very well. How are you doing? Long time
Very
no
well.
see.
Well, that's a nice light behind me, isn't there? Look at that. That's pretty. The waterfall. Can you see that?
That's a very pretty waterfall, isn't it? Yeah, that
Yeah,
nice.
it's illuminated.
Yeah, it's yes. I must compliment you this evening, Tony, on your lighting and the quality of picture. It feels very orchestrated.
Thank
Um,
you. Thank you.
and all compliments. The tones, the contrast, the colors. It all looks very good.
And the flowers behind you look lovely too, Paul.
Oh, thank you so much. It's very kind of you. I always like to make an effort, and you know. So, good evening. So, all of those of you that have joined us this evening, thank you for being here. Thank you for being with us this evening. If you've just joined the show for the first time, my name is Paul Cissell. This is Tony Ferguson, and we make PT Paranormal, and we are here for a great evening with some great guests joining us later on. And we hope you're going to be able to stay with us right the way through and join in the fun and all of the banter. So, asking a silly question, how's your week been, Tony?
Yeah, it's been all right.
Oh,
Things
sure.
things are calming down in the UK now. A little bit of normality, even though there's still some crazy people around. I think because people have literally got eased off the lockdown a little bit. I think people have just gone. Whoosh.
Yeah.
Other than that, just getting on with it. Really. What about you, Paul?
Yeah, it's I've been in my office all day over in Portsmouth and just preparing that because following all the new guidelines, I'm going to start my readings back in my office again in a couple of weeks. So I've just been preparing everything and with the social distancing, putting all that into place. So yeah, this last few days been sort of quite busy, over there. So that's about my news. Nothing really much more than that.
How about you on chat? How you all coping? Wherever you are in the world, is it obviously in the UK they've eased off the lockdown a little bit, but obviously people are going to go mad because it's like freedom. But yeah, it'd be nice to say how you guys are coping if you're staying sane through these crazy times.
Yeah, absolutely. We got 15 comments already. Let's have a look at who's joining us this evening. We've got Leah. Hi to you. Who else is in there? Kelly, hello to you also. Kevin, thank you for joining us, mate. Who's this? This is Yvonne from San Antonio, Texas. We're all great. Thank you very much for Yvonne. Thank you so much for joining us from Texas. How's things over in that part of the world with you guys? Hi, Gillian. Thank you very much for being here with us. Hi, Julie. Thank you very much for being with us also and sharing the journey. I'm saying nothing.
What?
I'm saying nothing.
Oh, Eli. Oh, he's a Chelsea supporter.
Oh, really?
All right, nice, is it? Are you well, then, mate? Are you well?
Those that don't know, Tony is an avid Arsenal supporter. So well done, Eli. You couldn't have put it better. Thanks for being here. Steve, thank you for saying that I'm looking good this evening. It's really kind of you. And thanks very much for being here. Michelle, hi to you. Thank you very much for being with us also. Hi, Vicky. Thank you for being here. This is Dawn from Alabama in the United States. Thank you so much for being here also with us this evening. Rodney, thank you also. Great to see you. Hi, Vicky. Laura, thank you so much for being here also. Helen, also. Sorry if I'm just reading them out. It's just easier if because I'm bringing all the comments up on screen as we talk, so it's just easier for me to shout out to you all. Suzanne, last week I was on a bit of bit of an emotional roller coaster. Sorry to hear that. Hope things have settled down a little bit more for you this week. Lee, thank you so very much, our star of last week's show. Thank you very much for coming on and voicing your thoughts and your opinions there. Linda, hi there. Thank you very much for being with us. And Sophia, we are both well, as always. Hope you're well too. So, yeah, we've got a very exciting show lined up. For those that don't know, we've got Sean and Bex Reynolds, who are the duo that make up Ghost Dimension, which is a paranormal show that is on Amazon, is also on Pluto. There are a few other channels that escape me for the moment. Sorry, Sean, where they are, but once the guys come on, they can, tell you all about that. So we're looking forward to having a chat with them later on, aren't we?
We are indeed. And while we're actually waiting for them to come on, we're going to put a few ghost clips on for you, because this is about, obviously, they're ghost hunters like we are. Yeah. And so it'll make it a bit more interesting. I did ask them if they've got anything they want to share. So they may do when they come on. But so, yeah, we've got a few clips for you to take a look at, which if you're scared of this sort of thing, close your eyes, don't watch. But for those that love the spooky stuff, it'll be some interesting clips for you all to see anyway. Some of me and Paul and some of myself, and just in some very haunted locations in the UK.
Exactly. Also, Kerry, just want to give a mention to you because you was a star contributor last week. So, thank you very much for being there. Marie, thank you very much. Just changed my text size to 100%. From 125%, so I can comment in the inbox now. Well done. And Pluto Planet. He's on Pluto Planet. Yes, not the actual planet, but the TV channel. So, but they'll discuss that later. Guys, both Tony and I have shared the live stream out to our personal profiles. If you are there, please come across the PT Paranormal if you want to interact with the chat this evening. The reason being, if you're commenting, we might be able to see your comments that are coming up. We can't necessarily interact, especially once our guests come on later on. This is going to get very fast paced, and we're going to have to concentrate on the platform that we're at. So if you do want, so please, again, if you are watching on the watch parties, any of the watch parties, please don't be offended. You are not being ignored at all. It's just a struggle for us to interact with you unless we spot something and there's a bit of a gap and we can bring it in. Otherwise, if you do want to interact with us, come over to the PT Paranormal page and watch it live there, and you can come up and be a part of everything. So right, is it cold or is it me? I was asking a silly question for somebody that's sitting there with a bronze suntan in a summer top and with blonde hair and look, see,
what's that?
Look, say, oh, what's that? What you see? Look, you see. I was just talking about the weather, Tony, and how lovely it's been, hasn't it? It's been great weather.
Don't know. I've been stuck indoors, mate.
Really? Oh, really? Anyway, yeah.
Be honest.
Oh, thank you. See, Susan, it's been freezing here. Yeah, it has been where I live as well. Even with the sun shining, See, it's been a bit chilly. See, everybody's agreeing with me how chilly it's been. Yeah?
Oh, it's freezing.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Hey, Colin, thank you so much for being here with us. Also, Sharon, also, thank you so much for being with us as well here this evening. Right, now we've got everyone starting to come in. Who wants to see some sunny here today? Yeah, it's been pretty sunny I think where most of us have been, but there has been a very strong chilly wind, and unless of course you live where Tony lives, where apparently it's tropical conditions. So at the moment
it is tropical.
Yeah, so Tony looks like he's been on holiday. Yeah, he has. He's just come back.
Yeah, all right. Don't say that because I don't know how I have, but yeah, I guess I have. I've been on the plane. Nah, this is just like the last couple of days, just getting outdoors, really. But yeah, it's been warm actually. It's not been that bad.
Yeah. Anyway, Alana, thank you very much for being with us. You finally made it to a live feed. Wow, yay, absolutely. And lots of comments about your suntan and in chat at the moment. But I think we'll just leave them all to have a chat in chat.
You can put them up, mate. If it's you put them up, come on.
Oh, you'd like?
I'm joking.
You want me to put them all up?
No, I'm messing.
Oh, don't mess with me. Oh dear. Who was telling me they live? Vicky, you live in Florida. It's always great to hear from around the world where you are. So thank you so much for letting us know where you are. Always appreciative. Clifford, I've lost 5 stones in 11 weeks. Well done. Wow.
And he's an Arsenal fan. He's got an Arsenal hat on. Like that a lot.
I'm not saying nothing because my dad was an avid football fan, and I can remember growing up as a kid when and I can't remember what team. I think my eldest brother supported Chelsea as well. I think I could be wrong on that. God. I know it wasn't Arsenal, but I can remember many a time when they would come together. And literally come together, and they would be punching the hell out of each other over a bloody football game. And I mean that as well, just because my brother had insulted Arsenal, and my dad took offence to it and went and punched him one.
Someone's got to support Chelsea, I guess. That's why Eli came on. Someone's got to support them.
Oh, Wendy, you're from Totton. Lovely to hear from you. We don't get many people from Totton coming onto the show, so Eli, Arsenal are rubbish.
Oh, mate. How would you know? The season's not even finished yet, mate. Come on. Give it time.
Eli, I can see you and I becoming good friends, mate. I can see
it. Well, I'm not going to say anything there.
Sophie, you're in Cornwall. Lovely to hear from you down there in Cornwall. Rodney, West Ham and Leighton Orient.
I'm guessing that
was it. West Ham. It wasn't Chelsea. It was West Ham. Thank you, Rodney. Yeah. That my brother supported because he was a Londoner. So I
said, there you go then. So there is only one Chelsea supporter here.
Yeah, exactly. And Sharon's saying that she's from County Down in Northern Ireland. Thank you so much for being with us here this evening. Right, let's get on with some paranormal clips. Guys, sorry if I come out of chat for a little while. But we're going to take you on some paranormal clips. Some of you might have seen some of these before, but we're going to just show you some quick clips of some captures from Tony's journey and also our own joint journey together, just to kind of get you in the mood for the guys that are going to be coming on fairly soon. So we'll get going. And I can't remember in what order I've now put these in. So I think the order that you gave them to, well, they are in the order that you gave them to me.
It'd probably be wrong, but it's all right.
No, it's not. It's exactly as you gave it to me.
I'm in the order that I gave them to you, so it's probably in the wrong order, but that's fine.
Oh, right. Okay, right. Okay. Well, we'll find out. I think this first one is about you, although you confused me in the title because you said it's about me, but then when I played it, it was all about you, which is normal.
There you go. You were there, but you just weren't there.
I was there, but I just wasn't.
You weren't there.
All about Tony. Oh well. Anyway, let's play the first clip and show the viewers. Right, Tony, do you want to explain what we were seeing there?
Yeah, well, I saw that to the naked eye coming towards me, and I was actually in the National Showcase Museum in Wales, and down there on my own. Basically, I felt like I was being followed around the whole time, and I saw this mist come towards me, and then it went straight through me, and I got winded. That's the best way to describe it. Why did my screen just do that?
Yeah.
Do you see that?
Yeah.
What did that for?
Well, we had paranormal activity last week, didn't we? So
white just went in front of me.
Yeah.
Just want to see if it's focused or anything like that. That's weird. Okay. So yeah, it went straight through me, and basically winded me. So I had to get out of the cage pretty sharply, because at that point I thought, I don't think something wants me here. So yeah, it was very odd. And the fact that I caught it on camera as well, I just thought, I literally held the camera like that because I was winded. I was quite sure that I caught that, to be fair.
Wow. Okay. Wow. Yeah. And is that one of the ones that obviously it is, isn't it? It made TV.
Yeah, it was on Paranormal caught on camera in America and Canada, and also on various other shows, which I didn't get to see because it's obviously in other countries. But yeah, it got out there, which is always good.
Brilliant. Cool. Fantastic. As I just went back into chat there, I noticed that somebody had put up a comment to say, I can see something moving around in Paul's fish tank. Yeah, fish. You probably can't see them because of the glare. But there are fish moving around in my fish tank at the back there. So just to let you know. So right, let's have a look at this next clip. This is something to do with, I think I'm involved in this one, where it's to do with the mist. But again, let's watch it and we'll see what happens.
If there's any spirits here at all, are you able to show yourself, please? Try and appear by that window, by the brick wall at the end.
Oh. Yeah, that was at Hurst Castle, actually. I don't know what it's a cow shot. That's the media for you, though. Literally, me and Paul were actually at cow shot. No, I'm saying it now. No, Hurst Castle. See, look, it's got me confused. With me and Paul at Hurst Castle, and funny enough, we caught two captures that day. One was that mist coming towards me, and then Paul actually said to me, "The gentleman joined me at that time," and I said, "Yeah, I could feel something literally past me, but obviously I couldn't see nothing. It was pitch black." About 5 minutes later, I went into the other room with Paul, and you can clearly see that mist that came at me leave Paul's body. As he said it, I felt something go inside, like come inside me, like a pressure. And as he said, it's gone now. You see the mist leave his body. So it's like double validation for me, because I had that experience in the room opposite, and then I went in to go and join Paul after to tell him, and obviously Paul had that mist leave his body, and only he can tell you what he felt at the time. So I think that might be the next video, Paul. I'm not sure.
Okay, yeah, I'm not sure.
Mist leave his body. That's what I put. So
yeah, so we will we'll find out in a moment, because I think I was writing things down, and the next video is the one where I didn't actually write anything down. Actually, I know I was going to tell you, and I completely forgot. I was going to put it up on our PT Paranormal page, and I just haven't had time. The weekend, being on Hainan Island, I was taking photos, you know, the countryside and everything. And I took a photograph of the plants, very nice one, of looking out to sea. And I was kind of on a raised ledge, and the beach was quite a way below me. There was absolutely nobody around, and just like your backdrop, Paranormal Activity moving there, I had a similar experience with the photograph, whereas there was nobody apart from the plants and the sea. There was no one in the photograph. I put them up on Facebook, and then I was looking back through them thinking, what's that? What's that? And I kind of zoomed in on it, and it looks like a girl in the photograph in the corner with long brown hair.
Right.
She's got her back to me, and I can't see her face.
Ah.
And knowing where I took the photograph, I cannot possibly explain. I mean, I know that area very fluently, very well, so I know exactly where I was. I cannot explain anything because it's all very, very low vegetation. And I just photographed the vegetation and then a picture, then the sea in the background. There was nothing that stood upright. There was no trees. There was no nothing. So I was right on the edge of the beach. It dropped down towards the sea. And there on the photograph is what looks like a girl in the corner with long brown hair, young girl. I meant to send it over to you and I kept forgetting.
So, yes, later, maybe I'll have a look at it for sure. Definitely. Be interesting to look at, zoom in and stuff and do it in different sort of lighting and stuff. It could be obviously pixelated, but the fact that you know the actual area, and obviously it could be something there that shouldn't be there.
Absolutely. Yeah. Right, let's get on with the next clip. This is the third clip, wasn't it?
It is indeed, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, that was so. For the viewers that are watching, at the left side, you'll see like a mist come from the left side coming out of the wall. This is the night after we did the live stream last Monday, where the disembodied voice was caught on camera, mimicking Paul's voice. So I decided to set up a camera because a lot of stuff was happening that night, and basically the actual media got in touch about this clip actually, and I just not followed it through because of the situation with the lockdown, but it actually comes out of the wall and just floats along and disappears. There's no window there and stuff. I did do a video of it on YouTube, so it's bizarre. I do have a lot of activity up in my house, but nothing menacing. Just your standard things happen here and there when the energy builds. But yeah, it was definitely a capture alongside with me and Paul doing the live feed where something mimicked Paul's voice, which a lot of you guys actually heard, which is strange.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. Right, let's get on with the next one, which is the one again back to Hurst Castle where the ghost in the window.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, Hurst Castle, another one that was on TV just recently, actually. With I can't think of the shows. There's so many of them that's been on like throughout the world. This was actually a location me and Paul visit quite a lot, which the ghostly mist left Paul's body. The window itself, me and Paul went back there probably about 7 or 8 months ago when it was open. It's blocked off completely by a brick wall. We actually showed you guys on one of the actual YouTube videos just to show you that a real living person couldn't fit behind there. It'd be impossible. The gap was probably that narrow. And as we were talking about it, the REM pod started going off. So yeah, it's bizarre. But there was something there that appears that it shouldn't be there. What it is, I don't know. The fact that the window's that narrow as well. It's just one of them things we could have to leave unexplained. Me and Paul are going to be going back there in the future when things are back to normal.
Yeah, definitely. Right, now this next one does feature me, just for change, and this is where I think the mist left my body.
Yeah, it follows on from earlier on.
Oh, right, okay. From the one we've just watched or the one earlier?
The mist. Basically, the mist came out earlier on, guys, where it came towards me at Hurst Castle. This follows on with obviously the mist leaving Paul. It's on the same day, basically. Only 5 minutes in between what happened with me and then Paul.
Yeah. Okay. Let's watch it. 7,000 oranges when I pass out. It's gone. Whatever it was.
Yeah, I mean that's something you can explain because I when I got back home I was like, okay, that's weird because obviously what I caught and then that happened to you. But yeah, in chat, what do you think? Did you see it leaving his body? This again hit media and stuff. And it was actually on TV for I think it's one of the UK programs it was on a while back, because it's about a year or two ago. But Paul, what did you feel when you were there?
Well, again, as we've often, stated, sometimes, I'll experience something and not even realize the true extent of what I've actually experienced. I might think I'm just, as in the clip showed, I'm just talking about something, not knowing that there's then been a mist that has left my body, and you've watched the video footage back later and gone, wow, this is what happened, but at the time neither of us actually saw it with the naked eye. So but there it is on camera. Something certainly did happen.
Bizarre, very bizarre.
Yeah, this is this next clip is the poltergeist plane.
Yeah, that's a good one, this one.
Can you do that again, please? That's really loud.
Yeah, just a quick depth on this one for you guys. Basically, if you look at the camera, it goes all wappy. It started off like that, like something was sort of playing with it, and then the camera just sort of flew off the shelf. And then I went back a couple of weeks back to try and debunk it and to see if it could be anything that could be explained. And then obviously I caught that other thing there as well, which was even more bizarre because I saw it to the naked eye. It wasn't dust or anything like that. It started shape-shifting, and it was just like a wiggly worm just floating along, and it was bizarre, especially when you see it to the naked eye. And I actually sat down for a minute because I saw a fair few things in that plane, and Paul's been there with me before on this plane, and we've caught some crazy stuff going on there.
Definitely. Right. So this next clip we're going to show, I think this is of you in Bodmin Jail.
Oh yeah, the Bodmin Jail, the famous Bodmin Jail.
Can you do that again, please? That's really loud.
Well,
Bodmin Jail.
and that was not Bodmin Jail. That was the one we've just shown. I've lost Bodmin Jail and acquired that one from somewhere else. So I've no idea where Bodmin Jail went. That must be somewhere in the ether. This one is down in the tunnel. So this last one, because I know that Sean and Bex are joining us in the broadcast, so we're going to bring them on. Let's just show this last one, and then we'll bring our guests in.
Yep. Just bizarre. The word bizarre comes to mind. That's it. We'll leave it at that. Bizarre.
Yeah, and we're going to go back to that location and sort that one out again. With many of those clips. So guys, very, very quickly before we bring our guests in, if you are on any of the watch parties, apologies, we are not interacting with you. We can't. Or we can see what you're sending out or putting out, but especially once we're about to bring Sean and Bex in, it's going to get very busy, so we can only focus on this platform. Come across to the PT Paranormal page if you want to interact with us, but any other watch party or anything that's been sent out, we are not ignoring you. Please do not get offended. However, on that note, we are both very, very excited to welcome two wonderful people that I know have worked very, very hard in their career. We're going to hear all about them. We're going to hear about their lives and the work that they do, and their show. They're going to tell us all about that in more depth, and their own paranormal encounters as well. So, guys, very happy to welcome I'm about to bring in Sean and Bex from Ghost Dimension.
Hey!
Hi everyone. We can't see Tony, but
Tony's
we can see you, Paul. Tony's gone.
What's Tony? What was that?
He said I'm off.
He's gone. Oh my God! And Sean, your hair. Kind of pointing at something, and I thought, what are you pointing at? I thought you were just pointing at Sean, and now he's gone.
I don't know what happened to it. Today it was blonde, and then I went for a shower, and it came out purple, Paul.
No, don't listen to him, Paul. Don't listen to me. He came home the other day, and he said, "I've got this for my hair," and it was purple dye. And he said, "Maybe we could put it on a live at 3." I was like, "Maybe."
Hello.
Hi,
He's
Tony,
back.
you're back.
You see?
What happened to the blonde hair? I thought we were going to be the blonde duet today.
Well, it happened today. We just decided to change
to
it. But I'm not particularly a massive fan of it.
No, you're thinking about shaving it off.
Right, shave it off.
No, I was saying to Paul before, I said he came home the other day with some purple hair dye and said, maybe we could put this on my hair. And so it's nothing to do with me. I just put it on his hair today.
Yeah,
Nothing to do with me.
It kind of matches the background a little bit, our own background there, and you blended very well, Sean, with it.
I'm off now.
Turn around.
Guys, thank you so much for agreeing to be here this evening. It's a real honour that you decided to come on with us, and I know you've changed your own schedule a little bit to to be with us this evening.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
We want to hear about
his hair. See if he dyed it as well. I wanted to see if Tony had dyed his hair differently.
Yeah,
I made that mistake already. I'm not doing it again.
Well, off air, we were joking, Sean, about it was going to be a battle of the blondes tonight.
Look at it now. Look at it now.
Yeah.
Okay, I reckon you're next, Paul.
I think.
Yeah, Paul. Green hair.
Nice green tinge, I think. Nice green tinge.
No, I'm not. I'm too old to go into the competitive.
Never, Paul.
Oh, cool. Anyway, sorry, Tony. So when I brought the guys in, did you disappear then?
No, you literally press the button. I don't know whether you pressed me off, and I hear you.
All right, I know what I've done. So,
I like that.
It's not UFOs. I know what I've done now.
I'm trying to fix this flashing, but it's not working. I don't know why it's flashing, but we can still hear it.
Yeah, it's fine. We can hear you. We can see you fine. So, I mean, for those people out there that don't know you guys, haven't heard about you, tell us a little bit about yourselves, just as an introduction, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, so we investigate the paranormal like yourselves, and we go out and we film our expeditions, and the show that we make is called Ghost Dimension. I think we've been doing it since 2017. I think that might be right. Yeah, I'm not too sure for Ghost Dimension. But previously to that, we had the Past Hunters, which had Derek Acora on. And then how this started, so this all started because we made 4 episodes of the Past Hunters.
Which were awful, by the way. Really,
terrible,
really cool.
Rubbish. And it was never meant for the television.
No.
But one Christmas, it came up and it was just an episode it was 4 episodes without Derek, which was before Derek. And myself and Beck said, what should we do this Christmas? And we said, well, you know what? There's this showcase on Sky. You can pay to put your show on. Let's put our show on there.
And that can be the Christmas present.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
And so we did it, and everybody slated it, and we were like, fair enough. But it wasn't for everybody, it was for us, it was our present for us. And then
at that time, though, we were still doing investigations with the public.
Yeah.
And with that, we used to get guest mediums on. So we had Brian Shepherd, and then we went to Derek, and that's how we got Derek on the show.
Yeah, we hired him at Blackpool Pleasure Beach to do a public investigation. And then we became friends, and then
just went on from there.
Expanded them from there. We sold the show to Fox, which they broadcast it on your TV and stuff like that. And then after we ended that, we started Ghost Dimension, and then we've worked very, very hard to market it and link in with different networks around the world and stuff, which we still do to this very day. So like next month we have stuff launching in America, stuff launched this year, which has gone crazy, to be honest, like on the Roku channel, Pluto TV. I know now we're available on Sky Q. If you go on Sky Q, I've not got Sky Q, but I know if you go onto Sky Q and go onto the Roku channel, it's there and stuff like that. So and that's what we do. We go out there, we investigate, we have fun, and we make a show that obviously when you make a show, you have to cut a lot of stuff out. So there's a lot of stuff that people don't see. But we try and keep the good stuff, the real meaty stuff inside of the show. But sometimes, as you'll probably find because we were watching before the clips that you were showing, you can capture something really, really good. Yeah. And when you go out to expose that to the media, like you guys have done, unless it's something flying in the air or it's something outlandish, they're not interested. And you're like, oh, but this is like really, really good. And they're like, yeah, but it's not too out there, And so some of that stuff never gets into the show, but we've now started releasing that, haven't we?
Well, this lockdown's been sort of a silver lining for us, because then we can release stuff and people can see it, and they've got nowhere to go, so they have to see it.
Yeah.
Blessing in disguise, really.
So what got you guys into the paranormal? Where did that all stem from for you guys?
I mean, obviously we've had our experiences when we were young. Sean's had some stuff happen, and I have. But I think the main pinnacle was when we moved into this house, because it's in a cemetery, basically. Right. So it sort of grew from there, because it was the same year that we moved in, we had a Halloween party. Yeah. And we looked for a medium online, and he was free, and it was Gary Fields. Okay. It wasn't Gary Fields. It wasn't. Sorry. It was Neil Munley. Yeah. And he came, and it sort of, and we said, you know what, we could potentially do this with the public. So it just grew from there, really.
And it expanded from there, and it's
7 years later.
We're still doing what we do now, and we're hair's falling out, we're changing colours.
I'm transparent.
Korean.
The screen.
It's a great idea, isn't it? Having the green screen and the way technology is, and you can bring it all into your home. But when it starts to go wrong a little bit, you suddenly become transparent, or you blend into the background.
I'm very hollow right now.
And to be honest, we weren't expecting it to work behind us on this, so we were like, "Oh, well, just go live with green in the background," and then it's just appeared magically out of nowhere. And so we're like, so I was like, how do we change that just before we went live? And I can't flick it off.
This is paranormal. Just say it's paranormal. I'm half in.
I always say that. I say it's flickering. Ghosts.
Flick one. Yes.
And guys, I don't think Tony and I have had a live stream yet where something hasn't gone wrong, or can you kind of say, could that be paranormal? Could it be something, where, something's it's perfectly normal, don't worry about it.
Do you know what I think it is? I think it's because your top see-through. I keep seeing your top appear. Makes his top appear in the middle of the screen.
It's a little bit like the magician's assistant, isn't it? You see one half in one place and the other half in the other place.
It's a dimension. You're half in one dimension. You're in another dimension. So it's a good thing.
There you go. So guys, what do you kind of, what's the, I mean, I know you sort of shared a little bit about the journey. What would you like to see with Ghost Dimensions? Where would you like to take it? What's kind of like the ultimate goal for you?
Well, we're just happy at the minute carrying on where we're going. Things now have actually been ticking into the right boxes for us with the network distribution. So we're happy with that. We're making a new series that's been scuppered with lockdown at the minute, so we can't continue until it's safe to do so. But we're going to make another series, and we're going to put it out there. I know like Pluto before the lockdown, we're asking for another series, and I was like, yeah, but you need to just wait because the lockdown was literally just happening, and we just sort of knew something was going to happen. So we just said, just wait until this is over. So we're going to do that. And they've got some good stuff coming out for us next month as well, so that's pretty good. Yeah. So we're happy going.
It's all on the right track at the minute. We think, we're just going to do what we do and just see where it leads a bit. Basically, we don't really have that end goal or whatever. We just do what we do. We do it for the fans, because we always say it's
for the fans,
GD family that we've got, and like it, and so do we. We're happy.
Yeah, exactly. And and I've got Pluto at home. You guys pop up every single night without fail. I switch on Pluto, you bang, it's the first thing that comes up, you guys.
And you're like, oh God, not them again.
I do watch them. I do watch them. Great to see you guys. I want to watch something else just for a change. Yeah, Pluto really do their job, and they really do keep you out there.
We have it on in one of the rooms, but we don't flick through the channels. You know what I mean? So we don't. I know they made us record adverts and stuff. I'm not going to do anything with this hairline, you know what I mean? In a minute, but they record adverts and stuff for.
Why not? Come on, it's fine.
What's going on? Are you all right? You know what I mean?
Different. Different's good. Everybody's different.
And I'm like, no, we should cut it off.
Yeah.
Can't have purple hair in this house.
Oh dear. So guys, how have you been handling the lockdown? I know that you've been putting out lots of stuff on your YouTube channel, so you've been really kind of putting stuff out there to keep people engaged, which is great. But I mean, personally, how have you guys been sort of finding it all, handling it all?
Do you know what, the before we started doing the YouTube stuff, whilst we were in lockdown, it was quite hard. It really was. It was mundane, and it was hard with the kids, keeping them entertained and thinking, where do we go? What do we do? Normally we would have taken them out or probably gone on holiday a few times. But then Sean started doing this YouTube stuff, and well, you know what? This is good. This is getting everybody talking and rounding them all up together, and everybody's in the same boat. Oh my God, that's really flicky, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's me, I think.
Yeah.
Everybody's in the same boat, and so we both started coming on and giving the fans what they wanted, really, and then just interacting. I think that's what made us stay so sane. And everybody looks forward to seeing the 3 o'clock and then the 8:30 stuff on YouTube. And then whilst all that's going on, we're just handling 3 children. And just giving them stuff to play with. It's a juggling game.
Yeah,
it's a fun juggling game, and we're making memories in the process.
Exactly. And I think it's been, if we remove ourselves from the tragedy of the situation where sadly people have contracted the virus, I think for many of us, though, I think it's been a great opportunity just to stop, hasn't it, and just kind of reflect and take time out. There's the economic effect of what's happened. If we remove ourselves from all of those larger difficulties just for a second there, and just bring it back to kind of more us as human beings, I think probably when we reflect back, probably many of us needed this space, didn't we, in this time?
I think does it work anymore? No, I think you're right, Paul. I think that it's done a favour for everybody. I mean, obviously we've got all of that heartbreak. For so many people out there, and there's people that we all know as well that's it's happened to, or near misses and stuff. We've all needed that stop and reflect back on our lives, basically, and reconnect with our loved ones.
Absolutely. And Tony lives right on the edge of the New Forest, so I know that. I mean, that is the New Forest right behind him there with the waterfalls and the trees and everything. So that's how close he is to it. It's almost in his house. So I know, Tony, you've been during this time, you've been getting out, out into the New Forest and spending, taking the dogs there and, walking them in the time that you can. And
being on trees, just doing like you do as normal, just being a nutter, just literally step up and pull up some trees, and because I ain't got a gym to go to.
I'm always nuts in it. Yeah, I was climbing a tree today, wasn't I?
Was climbing a tree.
Right.
See, I'm not the only one, Paul. There are others. There's other fuckers out there.
I was saying nothing. We was talking about this before we came on air, and I live on an island now, so I've moved off Portsmouth
on his own
next door. I wish I was on my own, and so I'm on Hailing Island. So we're on an island that's completely cut off from the mainland, and last 2 months has been absolutely bliss. It's been like with wonderful weather, and it's been like being on a tropical island, and it's been wonderful because you've only really had the locals here, and you've just seen nature take over.
Yeah.
And you've seen something I've never seen before. Skulls of fish have come up to the shoreline and have been happy to swim around you because there's no more fishermen. You know, wildlife coming up, and the birds are quite happy to sit by you or walk with you. And you know, it's been absolutely incredible. Of course, the sea, you know, crystal clear. You thought you was in the Mediterranean somewhere. And then, of course, they started to release the lockdown. And this weekend, I went down to where I live. Literally, there's 60-foot steps that direction to the beach, and that's how close I am to it. But this weekend, there was parts of the beach where you couldn't even access the water because of all the fishermen coming down.
Wow.
They've not been able to, and literally they're having their 2 meters apart, yeah, but they were just lining. Obviously, you can't blame people; they're just wanting to get out. So, down, and but then all the fishermen, like, you know, it really pulled my heartstrings. I thought, you know, I've seen all of those fish coming up to the surface, and you've been able to walk in the water, and the shoals of fish swimming all around you. They've not been scared of you, and now, you know. That part's upset me a little bit, but you know, you can't blame people. I'm not knocking anybody for fishing either.
Exactly.
It's catch-22, isn't it? It's like they want their freedom, but then also you see it all disappearing. And
exactly.
Yeah.
Paranormal wise, guys, you went to Nottingham Caves. What did you think of it there when you went there? Because I've been there a fair few times, and some weird stuff there.
I loved it. I would go back in a heartbeat. I really would. I'd love to go back.
It was good, especially when you get deep down to like the back end of it.
Yes.
And it gets weird down there. And I remember we were actually sat there. It was during the filming, and the lights flicked on, didn't it?
Yes.
And you're like, "Come on!" We thought it was the caretaker guy, you know, it was a security guy upstairs. He was upstairs, and he's still sitting there reading his book or whatever he was doing on his phone. And it is good, and the activity was amazing there. I remember we did a few nights in Nottingham, and we did the galleries for the first couple of nights, and then we went over to the City of Caves and did that as well. And it was good. It was really good because you can physically hear things that you shouldn't be hearing that far underground. Obviously, there's a train, isn't it? It goes up.
Yeah, you got the cameras.
But
because it's so silent, you can actually just sit and listen.
Yeah.
And you can hear stuff straight away. I mean, we had a lot of kids around us, wasn't we?
When we were doing it,
For some reason, there was a lot of kids following us, and it was a little disturbing.
I had a TV production company with me when I was filming there and stuff, and they ended up running out because they saw this black shadow that I caught beforehand. So they legged it out of there and just they wouldn't go back in.
We experienced that as well towards the back of that place.
Did they leave you on your own?
Yeah, I was down there. Like they were like, I was getting my camera. I said, "Well, you know, what we're missing," kind of thing. But they were like, "I've just seen a black shadow." I was like, "Yeah, where is it then?" They're going that way. So I was like, "Okay, well, I'm going that way." So where?
Oh no!
So
they packed up pretty quick, to be fair. It was a very easy shoot, put it that way.
In and out. In and out. Did they catch what they needed though?
What's that? Sorry?
Did they film what they needed to film?
Yeah, they filmed what they needed to film. But obviously, because a lot of them are skeptical. I mean, I've been to a few TV production companies before, and we did a house before as well. It's a similar thing happened. They're all skeptics.
Yeah.
And they end up running out halfway through and just kind of off, and they said, "We're not doing it no more." And I was thinking, well, what are you here for? You know, just some people, you know, that if you're here for the paranormal, at least expect something to happen. But no, not in case we pretty much did it all anyway. But it was because I was telling about experiences, and one of the girls and another bloke saw the shadow being just go whoosh, straight past them, and start crying. So it was a bit of a weird one. It's very weird.
Oh dear.
I just wanted to put this up, guys. Gary was saying, "Bex and Sean, you're so bubbly. Lovely to hear happy people."
Thank you very much,
Kerry.
A nice avatar there with your purple hair.
Purple hair.
Yeah, exactly. That caught my attention. The purple hair. You could be twins there, Sean.
You'll need that bobble hat soon.
Yeah, I think so.
Guys, if anybody in the chat does have any questions that you would like to ask Sean and Bex, please put them in. I'll keep an eye on the chat so we can put them up. So, you know, please feel free. If you've got anything you want to ask them, please come in and, you know,
Ask away.
Ask them.
Hi, Amy Jackson.
Can you guys see the chat?
We can,
Yeah.
For anyone in chat quickly, if you want to see Paul dye his hair, just leave a comment below for next week. A green colour or something.
Green, get him green.
Green for Paul.
Nice green. Never sold, guys.
Need to bleach it first, blonde, Paul. It's a bit
yeah. I didn't notice that. I'm just ignoring it, and I'm focusing more on. So, guys, what other locations have you been to that have perhaps stood out for you?
Newsham Asylum in
Definitely.
Liverpool.
Yeah,
that's stood out. Have you ever been?
Where, sorry?
I've been there before. Yeah, it's quite active. It's weird. It's very weird. Heavy presence around.
Exactly.
Like,
yeah.
You feel like you're being watched and stuff. Didn't really capture much, but it was almost like, I don't know, the whole time you're there, you were just being watched and stuff. It's bizarre. Very bizarre.
It's active,
I think
and it's more active in a smaller group, isn't it? So if you go like 5 or 6 people, and it's just that amount of people, lots of weird stuff starts to happen in there. We've had some, because if you go in a group of like 20 or 30, it's hard, unless you separate yourself off. Yeah. But if you can act, we hired it a few times just for like 6 or 7 people, and took the group of us in. It was a team at the time, we're like training the team, and we took them in. And it was crazy. I mean, you stay there till 4 a.m. as well.
We did it 7 times with the team because we wanted to do team building with them and just getting them used to going out there with the public and doing what you do with the public on investigations. And so we said the best place to do it is Newsham Asylum because we were all local. And one night we had people in, and when the people went home, it was just the 7 of us left. We were standing on a landing and we were all holding hands calling out. And then we heard all of these moans and groans and like a pill trolley being wheeled on the top floor. We later found out that the top floor was a geriatric ward and they were waiting for the pills and we were going, pills ready, pills ready. And all 7 of us heard it, and all 7 of us to this day say, it gives you hairs on the stand up and everything. It's amazing. It really is. But Newsham Asylum stands out. And 30 East Drive wasn't too bad
that was good as well. But it can be overdone.
It can be overdone.
Have to go in a small group to go there.
Small group. And Gran Canaria, when we did the House of the Devil.
Yeah,
that was fantastic because that was in the middle of
Gran Canaria, did you say?
Yeah. What? That was the House of the Devil, and it stood out because it was in the middle of nowhere. It was fantastic.
The only reason I asked that question, it stood out for me. I'm just going to ask you this: when you went there, not necessarily to the location itself, but to the island, what did you feel?
Oh, it was so hot, Paul.
I was going to
say. Apart from the heat, Sean. Anything paranormal.
It's like home to us because we've got friends there. But
I mean, we didn't think when you go there, it's a holiday destination.
It's a holiday,
but it's not until you go deep into the parts
where the holiday destination, where the holidays don't go.
Because like the locals had like seriously weird rituals as well, didn't they?
Mm-hmm.
They used to take animals to the beach to slaughter them.
And chickens,
these
dead chickens were around and stuff.
Yeah, it was weird. It was weird. So when you drill into that sort of stuff and you find out it's all to do with like paganism and stuff, it's all weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
But that's more in the central and northern part of the island, but not too north, because if you go too north, you just end up in another tourist destination. So you need to go to the central. Or the top left as well. But it was interesting because when you went into the buildings, even though we're not Spanish, you could still feel there was something there.
Presence.
And to be honest as well, because they're not investigated as much, the activity when you were there was like the spirit was like, okay,
it was really raw.
Fresh meat, it was good.
And also, when you land in Gran Canaria or Lanzarote, or it's a holiday destination, you go and you're like, oh, it's sunny and everything. When the sun goes down and it turns dark and you're in those situations like the House of the Devil and places like that you're going to investigate, it takes a totally different turn.
Yeah.
And you think, okay, I'm in a foreign country. The car is a mile or two away from where we are. There's nothing around us, just one house that stands there alone. And what happens if something does happen to us? Where do we go? And so it's got added dimension, hasn't it?
Especially when we were driving up the top of that volcano, and we were like, "Oh, it was just a big cliff." Outside.
It was just a cliff.
If I crash the car,
and you're driving on the wrong side of the road, so you know you're different. There's different in a different seat, and Sean's like, "Where's the line?" There's no line, Sean. It's just a cliff edge.
And you know, as you go further up the volcano, these massive spiders.
Jump.
There's cobwebs everywhere. We're like, "Ooh, this is getting a bit weird." You know what I mean?
A lot of screaming going on, I bet. Then spiders being there.
And the reason why I asked the question, guys, is Spanish is my second language, and I've been out to Gran Canaria many times over the years. And no matter how many times I go out there, and it can be in maybe some of the more touristy places, and I guess being a spirit medium, I have horrific nightmares.
Really?
To finish, yeah. And I mean, I'm talking horrific. I'm not talking about just weird nightmares. I am talking about deep, disturbing images, to the point where I just kind of get there and go, what the hell, just find a bar somewhere, and I just stay awake for the whole 10 days up and out there kind of thing, because I'm
number all night.
Yeah, you say number all night.
So yeah, that was really, you could have caught my attention and said you have been out there and investigated. I just wondered what you thought of it. And
go back to Gran Canaria, Paul.
Yeah.
That's simple, isn't it? Just don't go back there.
It's happened in all the Canary Islands, but Gran Canaria is the first one.
I think it's an excuse to go out and party, mate. That's what it is with you.
You've been there as well, haven't you, Tony?
What's that, sorry?
You've been there as well, haven't you?
I've been to Gran Canaria. I'm not in no bad dreams. I've been to a few tombs and stuff, underground tombs around that way and stuff, but it is active. But I think all the untouched places are active because you don't get many people in there. Well, that was a bit weird.
Right.
That happened earlier on, but I'm not even moving, so it can't be my focus. Every time I mention paranormal activity, it happens. To be fair, all the untouched places I think are amazing because, like you said, whatever's there ain't used to the actual communication. Yeah. So it makes things a lot easier. I mean, me and Paul have been to a fair few places and they're untouched. And, places like Hurst Castle, which is in Hampshire. And if you go there, it's just so active. Everywhere you go, it's always something going on. And we were lucky enough to get in there and capture some amazing stuff. And every time we go back, you build a connection. The more times you go back, I always say you build a connection with whatever's there, and you just get more communication, more things happening around you because they're accepting, that you're who you are, etc. They know who you are, and I just think it's like anything with a human being. You build that connection, and the more you go back, the more you'll get. You learn, you gain their trust. I always say that's the best way to put it.
Yeah, totally. I agree with that because we did the same evolution when we went back 7 times. We sort of knew what was going to happen, or where the active places were, or the mean spirits, if you like. So I get what you mean there, Tony. Go with the spirit.
Do have a question coming up for you in a moment, but we've got lots and lots of conversation in the chat about Sean and Tony's hair.
Oh God!
It's the highlight.
Who needs the paranormal but hair, eh?
Of that conversation. Nothing about paranormal. Nothing at all. It's all about Sean and Tony's hair. So we'll leave it there. I've been waiting for a question to come up, and the conversation is going so quick about the hair products.
I can't see that.
Good.
And there it is.
Hair paranormal. We'll call it hair paranormal from now on.
Hair paranormal. Yeah.
If you go
up. So guys, just before we carry on, if you're watching in the chat or the watch parties, we're on PT Paranormal. We are not ignoring you. We're not ignoring you. We can't get to everybody where we are watching with who's watching with the live chat. Only here on the PT Paranormal page can we interact with you here in the chat. So again, we're not ignoring you. And also just to say that we're not a live stream that is giving psychic readings this evening. There are many other live streams available for that, just to say that we are not here, and I certainly not as a spirit medium, here to give messages. We've got guests on, and that's what the content of the show is about. So again, sorry if you feel you're being ignored and not being given a message to. That's not where we're going tonight. Right, where is my question from Marie? Here it is.
It's going to be a hair question, isn't it?
You had many scary moments when you wanted to pack up and leave a location. Good question.
Well, it has for me, but my location was a Ghost Dimension Flying episode, Ghost Dimension Flying solo episode that we did, and it was at Beach Caves, this place, and it was near Stoke, and there was only 3 of us there on location actually, and it was so weird, this cave system, that I was stood with Jane, and we were literally stood still, and it was footsteps coming towards us, and then this weird, I mean, I'll say demonic, but obviously everybody says everything's demonic, don't it? It was demonic growl, but I know it wasn't demonic, but it wasn't earthly. And it was so strange and weird. I looked at Jane and I said, listen, did you hear that? She said, yeah. And I said, we can hear the footsteps. We've got torches and nothing's there. And because we're in this cave system, obviously we can't get out quick. And that was the only time really that I wanted to get out fast. Obviously we had to film the show and carry on and investigate what it was, because it might have been something legitimate, but we couldn't find what it was. But that was the only time I really wanted to just get away from a place, because it's like, I don't like this. And in the end, actually, I did. And we left Paul in there and we got in the car and just sat there because I'd finished my pieces. And I was like, that's it. I'm not going to go stand there now because it's horrible. You know, and that's the only time.
I think for me, it was Walton Hall. It was in Liverpool.
Yeah.
And it was used upstairs, was used as Freemasons' meeting place. And as you walked up the stairs, being female, you got this like churning knot in your stomach. And I stopped everything. I said, we had a new camera guy.
Oh, yeah.
And I said, I need to put protection around us. Paul, you need to give us some protection. And he said, I've got some beads, protection beads. I said, I'll wear them. Prayer and stuff. And we went on. But that was one place that I was like, I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
Only because of the Masons and all of that. And, there was some not nice stuff that happened in there. And we later found out. And it just wasn't a nice vibe for a female to be in. But then we went back.
You did? To do it all over again.
I should do. I should do.
It's got to be done though. That's the thing. I think that's the. I've literally any scary place I've been to before. I feel like it always draws you back in. I think because you want to find out what that encounter was and try and explain it.
Yeah,
it's true.
I think that's probably what drives us to go. Even though it's insane to think, well, why am I going to come back for? But sometimes we want that explanation of what's happened. And have you guys ever been to Bomb in Jail before?
Not Bob in Jail, no.
You need to go there, especially in the basement. It'd be a great location for you guys just to go for a day out. In general visit, it's so active, it's unbelievable. I've caught some amazing things there, and I mean I was there for 45 minutes just investigating in the daytime. The lights went out, I caught an apparition, a child plugging my bag. So much happened in 45 minutes.
Wow.
That's stayed with me since, and it's just like in general every time I go back there's always something going on.
Yeah.
So it's one of them locations you just got to go even just for a day out just to go and visit.
We'll maybe check
We'll
that
do
out.
that. We'll definitely do that. Yeah.
We have a little list in
We
the
do,
other
we've
room.
got
We'll
a
write
notebook.
it down later.
Yeah, you need a list, definitely. It's got to be done.
Don't forget everything.
Guys, you might have already answered this one from Kerry, but I'll put it up anyway. She wants to know, what has been your most active place?
It was
we mentioned it earlier. It was Newsham Asylum in Liverpool.
Yeah.
And
it was a good place.
Very good. If you can get there, go there. It's amazing.
Yeah, I'm just battling with. There seems to be a competition in chat at the moment as having an argument as to whether it's Sean's hair they like the best or if it's Tony's hair that they like the best. myself and Bex aren't even getting a look in. You know, what's wrong with that? Oh, Bex, there's yeah, exactly. I think you've got lovely hair there. No,
I think you both need to do a hair color. Let's all try and do it together. Green, I don't know, some orange or something, or just some.
You like the rainbow?
Yeah.
Rainbow.
Yeah, we could just be the hair paranormal group or something. You know, just and hair come to us.
Yeah.
We're saying come to Essex and do some investigations there. So, well, Rodney,
Yeah.
it'd be great. Locations. Please let us all know. We'll all be very interested. Yeah.
Yeah. Where did we go? Which was near Essex or Kent or somewhere?
It was Kent, wasn't it? That was the
It was. I can't remember the name of the pub. We took Charlie Doherty there, off Big Brother. I can't remember the name of the pub now, but we went to some place near there. I'm sure it was near there. Well, anyway,
bear with me, guys. Where's all these hair comments are pushing the chat up so fast I can't keep up with it.
That's what happened.
I was wondering, would you consider going to Gillingham Castle, the most amazing haunted place? Have you ever been there?
We've not, but we will be going there. Yeah,
definitely
absolutely.
Want to go.
That's
After
one place that's
lockdown.
on the list.
Yeah, after lockdown we'll go.
We've got lined up to do. So yeah, we also do try to go to places that people don't really know of, which is what we discussed before. Because we like to go somewhere new, and not go with the hype of where everybody's going. So we try and have a few known locations, and then try and go for the unknown locations as well.
Yeah. So
right idea, definitely right idea.
The doors are completely open. Yeah. Anywhere in the world, where is the one location you would take yourselves off to, where money, no problem, where you could just off we go. This is what we want to investigate.
See, I'd go to Alcatraz in.
Yeah, I'd say that.
I'd like to
I wasn't impressed.
You really?
I was impressed. Yeah.
Really? I went as a kid. I think it was 1996. I liked it then, when I was a kid, and then obviously being grown up and doing what I do, I'd like to go back and just think.
You've grown up now. As you grown up.
Not with that hair, are you?
Never grown up.
Why were you not impressed, Paul?
I don't know. It was a wonderful experience to be there. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I couldn't feel anything, and I think probably it's been so stripped of energy with everyone going in there and doing investigations, or the public going in there, that I don't think you could really get a hold of what was really happening or anything that was going on. And so it wasn't that I wasn't impressed, I just couldn't feel anything as a medium. I just and it was a bit of a letdown from that perspective.
Yeah, well, change my answer then.
I go Waverley Hills.
No, it's a very good answer. But Tony, you've been there as well, haven't you?
Yeah. Well, I went there. I didn't stay there for long, to be fair. It was like a trip. But to be fair, there is stuff going on there. But like Paul has said, unless you're actually in there on your own, a lot of it can be debunked, because obviously people are with you because you go on tours and stuff. But it's an eerie feeling to it because it's a prison. But I think it's worth to visit anyway, because one off the bucket list, and it's like anything. You've got to. Some days you can go, and some days it's active. Some days it's not. It's not always be active. You can go back another time, and there's nothing going on. So it's just you just got to be luck of a draw to go there and actually capture something on that particular day. But I personally think there's stuff there. But like Paul has said, and Sean said earlier on, sometimes it's better to go to the places that are not being touched and hit. They're the ones that and they're the ones to go to because it's fresh and stuff. So, but yeah, it's a place to go and visit for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Sure. What about yourself? What's one place that you'd like to go to?
I'd go to Waverley Hills. The Waverley Hills, and investigate that penitentiary and just have a look and have a nosy about and see. But I'd like to do, like we just said, on a small group.
Yeah.
But I see a lot the advertised ghost hunts there, and I don't. So I'm not too sure how that would work. But I'd like to just go and not film there, just go in and have a night there, just to experience it.
Yeah.
Probably come out, with white hair again, but just to experience it and just see what it's like.
Yeah, wow.
Would you do on your own? Would you go on your own?
I'd go on my own. Yeah.
No, he wouldn't. No. He'd be in there and then he'd be phoning saying, "Is somebody coming in now?" Yeah, you would.
Tony, how about yourself? Anywhere in the world, what would be the place that would jump out for you?
I don't. I've been there already, but it's bomb and jail every time because even though I've been there before, I love going back there because I know I've got a connection with the place.
Yeah.
Every time I go back there, it's
Yeah,
just,
that's the same though.
yeah, and even though I've been there several times, just every time I go back there, I just feel like that, you know, I feel part of that place. So to say anywhere else would just be an insult, and for me, but in general, it's one of the very first captures I caught, and so it's always gonna be a special place in my heart. And for places that I've been to around the world in general, you know, it is one of the most active, especially in the UK. So it's got to be that for me.
It's good, isn't it? It's on your doorstep in the UK.
Yeah, it's only a couple hours down the, but it's a nice little holiday as well. I always, when I go to locations, I always make sure I book a couple of days away wherever I go, because to see the area and stuff like that. And I think, you know, rather than just driving down there, because your energy gets tired out.
Yeah.
If you're going to travel to these places and stuff, by the time you get there, you're flaked. Whereas if you have a couple of days there, you're rejuvenated for your actual investigation. So it's always best to take a couple of days away and just relax, chill, and, you know, build that energy for the investigation. And then straight away, when you're there, you feel rejuvenated and ready to go.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, for me, romantically, not paranormal, but romantically, Bram Stoker's castle in Transylvania.
All right, okay.
Oh, that would be amazing.
Yeah, it was incredible. We had the whole castle to ourselves. And the reason why it was romantic as opposed to paranormal is, again, like Alcatraz, and again, the amount of tourists that pass through there during the day, it stripped of energy.
Yeah.
You know, it was, the sad thing was, it was stripped of energy. You know, and the locals, you know, you talk about Count Dracula, they go, what? But they're more into their nature spirits, their wood spirits. They believe that demons run through the forest and possess, and, you know, all the locals, they create these masks, pretty much like our Halloween, where you put the mask on and it's supposed to scare off ward off the demon. But yeah, the night I went, though, it was one of the hottest weekends. I mean, it was in September. It was really hot all weekend. And then the night we were going up to the castle, we got there, and all of a sudden, you couldn't have asked for it to be better. We had one of the most terrific thunderstorms ever. There you are at Count Dracula's castle with the lightning coming down, crashing down all around you, thunder, you know, rain coming down, and the bats were amazing. I've never seen anything like it. With all of these bats, were just all night long, all these bats would just fly around you, whether it's in the castle or in the grounds. And so that's what I'm saying, romantically,
Totally.
wise, no.
Did you go there before you went to Gran Canaria?
Yeah, hot nightmares. I was thinking the same thing.
There's bats everywhere. I've been sleeping terrible ever since.
Never been the same. Never been the same.
Never been the same.
Anyway, going back to all these hair comments, guys.
Oh, here we go.
Guys, if you have any more, I've probably. Here we go. Here's one from Lee. What do you reckon, guys? I know you wouldn't have investigated this, but this is probably one of the most infamous hauntings of all time. What about the notorious places like Amityville House? What do you reckon about that?
Well, I would like to give it a go. Honestly, any location, I'd always give it a go. And I would actually like to go there and check it out and see what actually happens to us.
Yeah, exactly.
It's always
worth a nose, isn't it?
worth
Just to have a look and see, because you don't know until you go there, do you?
Exactly. We all have our different experiences with places, so it'd be nice to just check it out.
Cool. Here's one from somebody that we will all know. Given no expense spared scenario, what about Machu Picchu?
Never heard.
So in Peru, so very ancient city, Very again, lots of you know, a lot of people that have gone there said it's very spiritual. Some people say that it's haunted as well. But a wonderful
I'd have to Google it and see what it was, but I'd never heard
I've
of it.
never heard of that, but Peru itself, amazing.
Is it a touristy place, Paul?
Sorry?
Is it a touristy place? Because if it is, then
Is it a what?
You all have nightmares.
a touristy place where literally like, everyone, you know, like you go to the elements and stuff like where it's got loads of people coming in and stuff. Is it one of them a busy place to go to, or is it just a?
Again, I've never been there myself.
Oh, I thought you meant you'd been there as well.
Many times, but I've never actually been there. Always on the bucket list. I know people have gone there. You kind of go on a bit of a pilgrimage. Again, it's like one of those touristy places where that again, you know, with so many people going, you know, the land can get stripped by the energy. You know, but you know, a great place to go to if you're kind of more on that spiritual journey. Okay, so Gwen, thank you very much for coming in, and thank you for joining us as well. You know, for
Hi, Gwen.
See, I did a Google of it because I know you'll be like, yeah, he doesn't know. So I did a Google of it, right? And I just had a look, and I've seen it the other day in a movie, and I said to Bex, you'll recognise it now. It's a really beautiful place, actually.
Gorgeous.
So it's a good suggestion, but I don't know if it would make the trek up what looked like a big mountain. So
Sean wouldn't, because you're not fit.
I'd have to fly up there, Gwen, you know, in a helicopter.
Sean
out of rope.
Sean would do the first few steps, and I can't do any more.
You could turn it into a Bear Grylls, mate. Turn it into a little Bear Grylls show. You got to get up there to get into the investigation.
Like the rock show. Play the rock music.
But I googled it then as we were talking just to see, because it always interests me if I don't know where the place is. So,
Once it's never been investigated, Paul, it would be fascinating.
Oh, there you go.
Maybe you should guys do it.
I guess, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I guess, you know, has Bex got her white mascot cat yet?
No.
Oh, no. No, you're right there, Lee.
But Lee, you need to work on him again. Work on Paul.
It's a cat thing. They're after a cat. They're after a cat. We have like this
My
thing.
girls are after a cat, and I'm after a cat, ragdoll, and it's a thing. Everybody who knows us they're trying to make Sean say yes, but he's saying no.
No.
Because he's grumpy Sean.
I am grumpy. It's never been investigated before. Maybe that was the place before.
Yeah,
Yeah. So, Gwen, have you ever been there yourself? You and Derek, did you ever, you know, go there yourselves? I think we've perhaps talked about it in conversations, but never knew whether you actually gone or not. But yeah, it would be a wonderful place to actually investigate. Because Gwen was asking about the Mayan ruins as well, and I think that would be another wonderful place to, you know, go and investigate, wouldn't it? Again, you know.
It would be good to like these places, like that. The one Gwen mentioned was from the 15th century.
Yeah,
it says, and then it was abandoned. I mean, that's a lot of history. That so good to go and take all the gadgetry that you could take and more and see what you could capture. I mean, I don't know what the hauntings are there, but or if there is any, I don't know anything about it. But with it being that old, there should be something there at least.
Yeah.
You know, maybe a psychic could pick it up, spirit medium. Anybody, you know, imagine if you took all of the stuff with you. You know, as you had not only gadgetry but the spiritual medium side. I think it'd be a good investigation.
Yeah.
Malta a bigger one for you guys to go and do. They've got a lot of tombs and stuff underground too.
I remember going to Malta as a kid with it. It was bullet holes everywhere in the walls.
It's crazy. They got definitely no health and safety there. I mean, when I went to investigate there and stuff, it was literally just walk in and underground, and they've got no lighting and stuff. And you pay to get in there, and I'm thinking, okay, you're pretty much paying to kill yourself. Yeah. And you're walking around. There's holes in the ground and stuff, and I'm thinking, bloody hell, they don't know about health and safety there at all.
Oh, that'd be fun.
Really eerie. You go down to the tunnels and stuff, and you walk around. And that's it. You're literally hearing screams down there and different body voices. So much death down there. It's unbelievable. But Malta is definitely a place to go. A lot of history as well.
Yeah.
See, when lockdown's finished, we said we're going to do maybe a few episodes out in the US because we've got a few friends
We had some lined up where we actually had, I think it was 4 locations we should be going to.
And we should be going this year.
So we can't now, can we? Because we're locked down and whatever. You know what I mean?
I meant to put something else up, and somebody was asking about scuba diving in the Bermuda Triangle. I think they meant as a paranormal investigation. I put that up by mistake, but interesting.
Different, isn't it?
Still interesting. You know,
That's different.
Well, maybe waterproof case and stuff down there, it'd be all right.
Tony, lots of comments in chat about are you on a stool or a beanbag that keeps dropping down because you're slowly going as time's going on. So no.
Tired.
I think it might be my camera moving. I don't know. I'm not paying attention.
It's the ghosting, Tony.
Yeah.
We had like half a chest.
We had this part before.
Guys, just ignore it.
It's my camera. There you go.
Yeah, I see the tattoos.
It's
I can't even see myself because of Paul.
Guys, you have children, don't you? You've got 3 of them.
Yeah.
Well, you now know. And so, sometimes it's better just to ignore them, isn't it? Yeah. And,
that's a bit big. Whoa. Come on, Paul. Come on, that is there. Come on.
Just changing the subject. I mean, I did an investigation here in the Solent round where I live. I was asked privately. A lady hired a yacht, and she wanted to take her friends out because being on the south coast, we've got an enormous amount of shipwrecks, obviously, especially the Spanish and French fleets. The Mary Rose was pulled up not so far from where I am. And she was really into the paranormal, and she wanted to take her friends on a paranormal investigation, do something completely different out onto the water. And so I'm not familiar with all of the shipwrecks out there, but I found a local sailor that had a yacht and who was familiar, and he took us out there. Now, you're not allowed to, apparently you're not allowed to anchor over any of the shipwrecks. So you can hover over them, but you're not allowed to anchor them. So we visited all the major, wrecks that are off the south coast, and we headed over towards Hayling Island, which is where I live now. And there was one shipwreck, and we was pretty much a day similar to today, lovely, calm, peaceful ocean. There was no movement in it at all, and we got over it, and we was kind of I was getting the group to kind of what do you feel, what do you sense, and all of a sudden the boat, we just got hit from all angles. The boat was incredibly still, and then all of a sudden it just went literally like that, came back, went to the other side, then the bow and the rear part, I'm not very good with parts of boats, went up and down, and we just got the hell out of there. That was, and I can't swim, so this wasn't a little boat, this was a large yacht cruiser that she'd hired to take out, and and it was, those waves were powerful enough to tip that boat completely. It was pretty scary.
Did you sense anything at the time when it was?
There was something, yeah, because over the years bodies do get washed up along our shoreline. We have a lot of suicide rates as well, because we've got a strong current, underlying current. As the tide goes out, you see the current pulling the water out, and unfortunately a lot of people, maybe accidentally, they do fall out of boats, or there are sometimes, quite often, people do deliberately take their own life knowing that the current will pull them down, and they won't be able to get back up because it's too strong. And but yeah, so over the many years, even going back kind of like hundreds of years, sometimes the ocean does release the bodies of sailors, and they come up onto the beaches around here. So our area, I know, Sean, you've been to Portsmouth a few times, and that the whole area around here is very, very haunted, very, very active, because of history.
We went to Fort Whitley.
That was really good, Fort Whitley.
Yeah, good place, definitely.
Yeah.
We heard bangs though. We heard the bangs go.
Oh, yeah, like
the actual
cannons,
the cannons,
yeah.
And that was fantastic.
And do you know what we saw as well? And I don't know if you've seen this or not before. That we haven't publicised this, but what we saw. Well, you saw it first, didn't you?
No, nobody believed me. I said I saw it, and everybody went, "Yeah, Bex, yeah," and just humoured me. And then Sean went, "Oh my God, I've been doing this thing," and everybody went, oh, "Really?"
It was a skinny, like I can only describe like a stick figure.
Yeah.
Massive and tall, and it ran into this room. So it stood there, and as soon as it took that we seen it, it ran. So we followed it straight down, and we got to the end. And the room that he ran into was like this cave room. There was no way out of it. You know what I mean? And we're like, right. But you know what? It also looked like an alien.
It did look like an alien.
Just about to say to you, when we went there several months ago, we caught like a pig squealing noises, disembodied, like, and it was like down the tunnels, and it sounded like a pig.
Oh my God.
I bet.
Describe it, but it didn't sound human. And I said to the people, and we could all hear it. Paul was with us, and it was just, and everyone was, where's it coming from? Like it sounded like pigs squealing, like in pain.
Yeah.
I said it doesn't sound human to me. It sounds like something from another dimension or something very, very bizarre down there going on.
When we went to Drakelow Tunnels, we did Drakelow Tunnels as an episode before we did Ghost Dimension, and the same noise, like a pig squealing.
Yeah.
We went deep into the tunnels of Drakelow, and that's
a horrible place.
It was a horrible sound.
It's a nice place to locate, but
a horrible sound to hear, though. When it's all dark and your senses are heightened, and then you hear that pig squealing noise. It's horrible. I
actually caught that at Shepton Mallet Prison, and basically a guy dropped to the ground, and we caught it looked like the best way to describe it looks like a grey on camera. And, I felt like an energy change, and I said straight away, I was on the balcony on one of the actual in the actual prison, and I said that the energy's changed here. 2 minutes later, the guy drops to the ground in agony. On camera, you see this alien figure walk past and squeal, going, and it's clear as day. It just appears out of nowhere and just walks across the actual chapel of the prison. And what it was to this day, I don't know. But the guy gave me a hug. I just feel like I got to hug you. He goes, I was thinking, very weird place, Shepton Mallet Prison, but very bizarre.
What's your take on aliens being a spirit medium?
I think a lot the aliens in general are just a lot of the stuff we capture are just on different dimensions. I think same with UFOs. The infrared seems to pick up on spirit, also UFOs and stuff, and there's things jumping into our dimension kind of thing. There's things that we're capturing in and out of it kind of thing. That's the best way to describe it. It's not all just ghosts and things going on.
What's your take on it, Paul, on aliens being spirit medium?
Yeah, I'm a great believer that, without going into it too deep, that we've been visited by ancient civilizations from going right back to the dawning of time. I'm a great believer that they still influence us now, whether through channeling or whether through some form of visitation. And I'm a great believer that we as human beings are the convergence of science and spirituality. Whereas we are spirit, but I also believe that our species has been genetically altered along the way to progress.
Yeah, I agree totally.
Yeah, that's my theory, and I could be completely wrong.
I agree. I agree, Paul. Yeah,
absolutely. Good. Sean, are you able to put up in the chat, because I forgot to write them down. I know you sent them to me earlier on, so I do apologise. Any the links, so I can now put them up onto the screen.
In the private chat, it won't let the
YouTube channel and other bits and pieces.
We'll do it in the private chat. But if you go over and join the YouTube,
I think I froze it.
We froze it. We've broken it.
I can't come out of my messages to go in there. That was all. It's just that if you put it into the chat, then I can actually put it up on the screen. Then
did you get the first one? Yeah,
possible.
Do they want the hair products as well that Sean was using and what I was using?
If anybody would like to know where Sean and Tony have brought their hair,
that's what it's about. That's what it's about.
Over the week we'll collaborate all of that, and we'll answer it on next week's show, and we'll let you know. You're all so starstruck by their hair, and I know that, you ladies out there have been absolute. I know many of you have been jealous, with our lockdown. You haven't been able to maybe do your own hair, and these guys have come in and shown you all up there, and it's been the talk of the chat, this evening. So
at least it's kept everybody happy. That's
what it's about, isn't it? With lockdown, just keeping happy and smiling and just trying to get through it. Every day is a new day. Absolutely.
No, definitely. Guys, so how do we find you? So if anyone we've talked about the TV work, and we know if we go to Amazon or Pluto, they are kind of the two main channels here in the UK where we can see you, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, Pluto, Sky Q. So if you go onto Sky Q, and they have it on demand on Sky Q. I've not used Sky Q, so I'm only looking at the screenshots people have sent me. You go into the on demand, click the Roku channel, and Ghost Dimensions there.
Yeah.
And if you're struggling to find us, go to YouTube or go to www.ghostdimension.co.uk and get in touch, or click one of the links that are on the website there, and that will take you to all of our social media as well.
Right. Okay. And you also, obviously, you've got your own channel on YouTube as well, haven't you?
Yeah.
So what do we put into YouTube to find you there?
So youtube.com/Ghost Dimension. So it's Ghost Dimension, not shuns.
Yeah. As a lot of people say.
Ghost Dimension.
Yeah, I keep going to say Ghost Dimensions as well. And I know what it is. Yes, I'll take the S out. And apparently you're on Roku, is it? Too.
Channel, yeah. So Roku, I think it's on Now TV as well.
It's probably on Now TV.
But I know it's on Sky as well. You just click the Roku channel, and then it's on there. So it's like on demand thing, and you just click it, and then all the Ghost Dimension series is there. Yeah, I'm sure all the flying solos were there the other week, and then you told me that it was this week or last week. All of the Ghost Dimensions were there, so I was like, brilliant. So that's available in the UK, US, and Canada if you want to watch it on there.
Brilliant. Great. Guys, from Tony and myself, thank you very, very much for being here with us. We've run over on our normal kind of slot. We intend to keep it to an hour. But we knew that there was going to be so much to talk about. It's going to be so interesting that we wanted to, give you guys justice. To be able. Oh, and somebody's just said they. So apparently you're also on Prime as well. So Prime TV as well.
Yeah, we're on Prime as well.
Sean, you need a Wash and Go logo at the back. Wash and Go. We can do
it's too late, isn't it? You're chucking us up.
Just. But again, as always, thank you to all the viewers for listening in. We're sorry that we can't get to everybody, especially when we've got guests on, or especially when we're engaging in the conversation. With so much going on. I know that, some people, not that it's intentional, but I know that some people do get a little bit upset when they haven't been able to, we haven't given them a response. It's never any personal. We just can't get to everybody, or things get missed and everything, or we're engaged in a conversation answering questions and the chat is just going bang, 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 bang. So if you ever feel as if you're being missed out, it is never, ever anything personal, far from it. But so Tony and I will be back with you next Monday as always. Thank you for those that are coming up in chat and saying it was a brilliant evening, a great night. Thank you all. We appreciate that. Tony, do you want to say anything?
Just everyone keep smiling, be happy, and keep strong through these difficult times. It's the best we can do at the moment, and stay tuned for next week. I'm not sure who we're getting on at the moment. There's a few people that have contacted me, but if not, we'll just maybe have a week for you guys and then chat, because obviously it's nice to hear from everyone in chat as well, just to see how they're all doing. So we'll sort of see how next week's doing. But just smile, try and be happy the best you can with what you've got. We're all lucky to be here, in my opinion, for the ones that sadly lost their lives through this virus. So just keep smiling.
Absolutely. Definitely. And this is what we've always said, these live streams were not about making it heavy going and, oh God, that's a bit heavy going to listen to kind of thing. It was always about, having that fun, that banter, through difficult times. Even when we're not in the lockdown, it's still about having, a laugh and sharing the journey, isn't it? And, and bring a little bit of sparkle into people's lives, especially with the Boots hair products that we've seen this evening. Bex and I will never be the same afterwards.
Exactly.
As a result of it. Come on, Bex, what's it like to be shown up by two men? You go to the hair salon and you expect to kind of come out looking radiant, and and there are come on, and the men show you up, kind of thing.
Exactly, Paul. I just don't know what's going on. I need to change this around.
Me and Sean are making lockdown look good.
I've been growing it. I've been no. Take the scissors away before I get the clippers out of here.
Guys, again, listen. We hope you'd like to come and join us again. It's been fascinating. I know that we could all go on all night, keep talking, and we would never run out of things to talk about. Thank you all very much, and viewers, thank you all very much for being there, and we will see you all again very, very soon. Well, in fact, next Monday, in fact.
Stay safe, everyone.
See you all later. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye.